What's going on, people? I want to briefly speak on a trend that I have been noticing online. And maybe I can say it's a trend. Yeah, I'm going to call it a trend. Where you have more females now that's rejecting marrying men because of credit score. Now, you can't be mad at them. Especially in the black community, because at one time black men or black males had that saying, money over bitches, M-O-B, right? So you can't really get mad at women for thinking this way. Now, I heard a white woman say that the guy that she's living with, her boyfriend of so many years, wants to marry her. But she told him that he first have to get his credit score up. So they putting a credit score over love. Yes, they're willing to live with you. But when it comes to marriage, in order for her to marry you, you have to first get your credit score up. Okay? Now, I'm on Twitter and I noticed a tweet from Carly Hustle, is what she called herself. And she wrote, "My man is badgering me about marriage." And I'm like, look, you still owe the IRS money from 2014 tax year. So the answer is no. Let's just be engaged forever, because my credit score is over 100 and you will not ruin this with your oppressive social contracts. This is what this female put on Twitter. Now, if I was her so-called man, I wouldn't be with her. I'd have to kick her to the curb. And maybe he's holding on to her. She's got a blue tag next to her name. I really don't know who she is, but she's got a blue check mark next to her name, so I guess she might be somebody that may have a little bit of money. And I'm not sure who her man is, but I know that if I was her man, I'd kick her to the curb, because she's telling you right there that love really means nothing to her. It's the credit score that she's looking at. It's the fact that she want to be able to build, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not disputing that. That's a good thought. But in most cases, and I'm going to talk black community, in most cases, you have a lot of females out there, either if it was by marriage or by you just out there sleeping around, now you have multiple children. You have a few children, or you may even have multiple baby daddies. But you have guys that's willing to still marry you. And these are guys that may have decent to good jobs, and they may not even have children, but they're willing to take on you and your baggage because they love you and they care about you. But now you have so many black females that's saying that we can stay engaged, we can live together, we can play house, but I can't marry you because my credit score is better than yours. Isn't that a trip? So you got men that's willing to take on these females and their baggage, their children and their multiple baby daddies, and the fact that this woman is on public assistance. In other words, she's broke, she's not working or got a halfway decent job and barely making it, struggling, and then this man comes along, and because he cares for her, and she's got a bad credit score, and she may even have a criminal record, but he's willing to take on her and her baggage and upgrade her. But now you have females that are saying, we don't even want you because your credit score is not up to par. So I just thought I had to speak on that briefly. So brothers, and I mentioned this in videos of the past, it's time for black men to move on. Forget about that, man. I know you may have had this woman, man, and she may have put it on you, and the coochie's good and all that, man, and you can't, it's almost like you can't pull yourself away from it, right? But you need to be free, bro. You need to be free. If you're with a female or a woman that's got that mentality, you do not need to be with her, because any point, if you decide, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and what probably already happened with many of y'all. If you say, okay, I understand, I respect that, my credit score is not up to par, or I'm not making what you're making, or my education is not up to par, so I understand what you're saying. So I'm willing to take the back seat now for you, because, honey, I love you, I care for you, and I don't want to lose you. So I'm willing to take the back seat for you. If, brothers, when you do that, you give up every right to being a man. Because what's going to end up happening, she's going to end up cheating on you. She's going to play you. She's going to cheat on you, or she's going to leave you for somebody that's got more than you and that's doing better than you. That's what's going to happen, because right now, she's telling this dude, whoever she's with, she's telling this dude that she don't respect him. She don't respect him because his credit score is below hers. In other words, she's saying the same thing I heard this white chick say. He's got to get his credit score up. He's got to get the credit score up. So, brothers, that's what you're dealing with now. See, a lot of y'all want to be thugs. And you know what? It's crazy, because a lot of these females, although it's the man's choice to be a thug, because I know some dudes, man, that were on the right track. They were squares. And there's nothing wrong with being a square. They were square. They was on the right track. They were educated. They had their jobs. They was doing well. And there's females that rejected them because they wanted thugs. So then you had a lot of dudes, man, that started converting over to being thugs. They started sagging their pants, and they started taking on the same mentality as these criminals in the street. So now, and then you had the females come along, and because they wanted these guys to sag their pants, and they didn't mind the metrosexual look, then you had dudes now start converting over to the metrosexual type of style, or swag, as these females say. So now, these females are now rejecting these dudes, because you have a lot of feminized dudes that's on the down low, that's got bad credit scores, that's got nothing going for themselves, they got a prison record, right? And now these females, after they used you up, they can now kick you to the curb. She's telling this dude, like, look, I don't want to marry you. You're not good enough to marry because of your credit score. I got a better credit score than you got. But we can still stay engaged. We can give you the impression or make you feel good about being engaged to me. See, it's all about, with a lot of these chicks, man, it's all about them. It's not about you or y'all. It's about them. See, so when you submit to that type of mentality, bruh, you just gave up your manhood, because she's going to end up using you. She's going to abuse you. And like in that movie with Eddie Murphy, Boomerang, when he fell in love with that chick, man, and he woke up one night, well, actually he woke up and she left maybe $100 bills next to on the table, and she's gone. Made him feel like a hoe. Made him feel like a hoe, man. She used him. And she's like, oh, I was stressed out. I really need to get rid of all of that tension. And she left money next to the bedstand. That's what dudes do to women, though. Right? So she treated him like a little hoe. And he was still chasing her. See, so that's the mindset that a lot of these females got now, man, since that Me Too and that feminist movement. And a lot of y'all, man, are like falling right into that trap. So I'm just putting it out there. So feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe. I'm just thinking out loud.